Welcome to On Air with Russell of Hotels, where we talk about everything hospitality, from hotels to influencers and everything in between. We will feature guest interviews with hospitality professionals who will share their experiences. Your host, Russell Edmond, has spent over 25 years in the hospitality industry, beginning his career with Marriott International in hotel operations before moving into the sales arena and becoming a relationship building director of sales and marketing. Russell then went to the other side as a hospitality entrepreneur. He now consults in the hotel and meeting space, which includes being the CEO of Russell of Hotels Group. Did I mention he was a veggie foodie? Yes. Russell is always looking for good non-meat eats. Please welcome your host, Russell Edmond.
Good afternoon, and thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels live hospitality talk show. Hold on one second. I always forget I got to silence my phone. But there you go. But thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. It's show number 150. And guess what? We have a couple of guests here. We're going to get into it with them in a couple of minutes, but they go by the names of Brandon and Paul. Okay, Brandon Gerson and Paul Cohen. They're with the hotel or resort called the Aqua Resort in Nicaragua. Okay, we're going to get into it with them. It's an interesting concept that they have, an interesting property. It's oceanfront. In fact, I've been talking about it so much. I already have 30 people that want to go to this place. I mean, it's already, it's already catching fire, so to speak. And guess what they did for me? They're offering a Russell of Hotels rate. Can you believe that? I don't know if that's the first hotel that did this, but it's the most recent one, so that's all we care about, right? But we're going to get to them in a minute. They're muted at the moment, but I just want to do real quick. First of all, thank you guys for joining. We are live on LinkedIn, as we are all the time, as well as after the show's over, it goes onto YouTube as well. So this is there forever. And then it's a podcast. So once this podcast is over, it comes on to wherever you listen to your favorite podcast. If that's Spotify, Google Play, whatever, it's going to be on there too. But, just give me an hour or so to load it because I actually have to be the one that does that. But it will definitely appear on that. So podcast, live show, LinkedIn, as well as YouTube. So there you go. But I'm going to get into this show number 150. I'm going to get in and just go ahead and start introducing these gentlemen because, that's all I have today. I don't want to, if I start going into other stuff, then, I want to give these guys the ample time to talk about themselves as well as their product or their brand. So first up, Brandon Gerson is a sales consultant, entrepreneur, and early stage investor from Los Angeles. He has a degree in supply chain management from Arizona State. My daughter goes to ASU, so that's got to be a great school, right? Go Sun Devils. And a background collaborating with international and regional organizations on demand generation and business-to-business sales initiatives. Brandon works with companies in tech, hospitality, as well as the natural food space. If anyone's listening, Brandon's going to be at the Natural Product Expo West, which is in Anaheim. I know that because I've been to it before some years ago. So if you want to meet with Brandon and talk to him, because he works for a company, just check this out. Okay, so I don't know if I can even say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. But Brandon works for this company that Brandon knows I'm about the non-meat eats, right? So meaning I'm a vegan. I don't eat regular food. I don't eat meat products or eggs and things like that. So he gave me a kind of a care package, right? And I'm just going to mention the one thing he gave me. He gave me these things that they said bacon bits, right? So they're made with beans, but you would never know. They taste like bacon. 100% like bacon. In fact, I use that stuff and I put it on salad. Me being a vegan, we eat salads all the time, right? So, sometimes we need to jazz the salad up. Well, I put these bacon bits on there. And what I mean it was lit or it was fire, that means it's good, it's great. I mean, those things were outstanding. So I gave him a comment about this about a week ago, but I'm telling you again, these bacon bits were fire. And thank you so much for letting me try those for you. But he will be at the convention center talking about organic sweeteners and plant-based food. So welcome to the stage or welcome to the microphone, Mr. Brandon Gerson. So thank you for coming on. And then let me just introduce Mr. Paul Cohen as well, partner and Paul's a partner and co-founder in IE Limited, International Experiences. Paul is consistently recognized as one of the most creative leaders in the tourism industry, bringing nearly 30 years of experience in the global travel and tourism industries, and is a distinguished career of working with tourism marketing organizations, connectivity partners, and channel managers, travel suppliers, and select corporate partners to solve problems and generate results. Over the years, Paul has helped to drive tourism arrivals, spend, and investments to dozens of destinations, including those in the U.S., China, the British Virgin Islands, Iceland, Botswana, Seychelles, Uganda, South Africa, Nicaragua, Italy, Greece, Nigeria, Jamaica, Egypt, Israel, Ethiopia, Mongolia, Bhutan, and Vietnam. I mean, is there any other place that you haven't been to help, Paul? He has used his experience and vast network to develop measurable integrated marketing campaigns for the destinations while expanding the roster of key travel suppliers and tour operators who actively sell the region. Paul Cohen is a resident of Annapolis, Maryland. He graduated from the State University of New York, college at Brockport, and participated in executive MBA program at the University of Rochester Simon Business School. So welcome, Paul Cohen and Mr. Brandon Gerson to the On Air with Russell Hotel. So you guys can unmute your mics. Are you guys there?
Thanks, Russell.
Yep. Thank
you for having me, Russell.
Oh no, thank you guys. I appreciate you guys coming on and talk about your businesses here. I mean, as it relates to the Aqua Resort. Now, just give me a quick geographical location. Where are you guys located right now?
We're about a half hour north of San Juan del Sur, which is on the Pacific coast.
Okay.
And we're also about a little under 2 hours south of Managua.
Okay. And then, Brandon, where are you located?
I'm in my home office in LA.
Okay.
Paul's,
all right. So,
Paul's the blessed one. He's down on the ground right now. I'm taking a tour of duty here in Los Angeles.
Okay. So Paul is actually boots on the ground as we speak. Okay. So let's just get into it. And I told these guys, I normally don't, give people the answer or the questions that I'm going to ask. And there's no exception today. But today I didn't write any questions at all. So we're just going to go off the cusp or off the top of my head. So why a resort in Nicaragua? And anyone can answer this question.
Well, why a resort anywhere, Russell? Okay. I think when you look at either running, operating, or visiting a resort, there's three things that you look for. Number one, location. Number two, location. Number three, location. Okay. And when you visit Aqua and you see the location here with a beautiful beach, beautiful views, a beautiful cove, it's tremendous. So we've got an amazing location. The villas are incredible. The service is great. It just happens to be in Nicaragua. And actually getting here, Nicaragua is only about a 2.5 hour flight from Miami.
Okay.
So, for those of you that are looking at a map, you can either fly into Managua or you can fly into Liberia and Costa Rica. And the Liberia airport's only 45 minutes to the border, and we're less than an hour from the border at Aqua. And there's plenty of flights from all over the U.S. You're in Los Angeles. Brandon's in Los Angeles. You've got daily flights on Alaska from L.A. United is 2 days a week, and JetBlue is 2 or 3 days a week. So you've got Lyft. It's 5 hours from LA, probably 5 flights a day from Miami, from Dallas, from Houston, from Charlotte, Toronto, New York. You've got plenty of Lyft. So we're accessible, especially in an era where there's parts of the world that really aren't accessible right now.
Right. Definitely right. So no, thank
Yeah.
you for that. I just had to
I'll
throw that out
add.
there.
I'll just add that Nicaragua, I mean, Central America is a wonderful place to visit. And like Paul just mentioned, it's close enough to the United States, which is where I think, I live and most of the audience may be listening. But also it's a wonderful place to go from anywhere around the world. But Nicaragua is a little bit off the beaten path. And if you're somebody who likes something a little bit different, then I think that it's a really, unique destination that people can go to, but it still has a lot of the amenities. It's still very family oriented. It's still a wonderful place to just go and visit. And as Paul said, location, location, location. I mean, when you go down there, it's where the jungle meets the beach. So, I mean, not only do you get all the really nice ocean, it's an oceanfront resort amenities, but also the flora and fauna that surround the property are amazing. All different types of animal wildlife. It's on a monkey trail, so there's monkeys. You see monkeys, howler monkeys, pretty much every day. I've seen anteaters, lots of crabs, lizards, butterflies, birds. It's really an amazing place to see animal life and just relax. So
Wow. Very good. Very good. Now I can attest to the I haven't been to this particular. Oh, I haven't been to Nicaragua. Let's just say that. But I've been to Costa Rica. So I've been to actually flown into Liberia a couple times, and I know the ease it is to fly in there. So say I fly into there, and just so you guys know, and just so people that listen know, I bounce around on my questions or my comments. So there's no
all good.
particular theme on how I ask the question. But okay, so say I fly into Liberia because Paul mentioned that you can fly. That is an option that you can fly into there. Now, do I drive myself, or can I have someone pick me up in Liberia and transport me over to Nicaragua? Because I know the border is not far from Liberia, correct?
So we arranged it all for you. There's no reason to rent a car or find your own driver. We have a transportation company in Costa Rica that we partner with, and we give you two different options. One, they can pick you up, bring you to the border, help you cross the border. And then we have another car that picks you up on the other side. That's by far the fastest. If you want to drive across, we have a car that'll bring you the whole way as well. But when you go across by car, they have to check every car. So sometimes there could be a backup. So we provide both options. But, if you're an international traveler, you're used to it, it's not a big deal crossing the border by yourself.
Cool. Okay. See, that's a great option. That's a great option, and that's hospitality, right? Someone that's going to pick you up and or give you the options to do however you want to do it, however you're comfortable with doing. That's great because, like I said, we travel. I've been to Costa Rica at least twice, and we're always on the verge of going into Nicaragua because it's hard to get the rum. What is that? And please tell me the name of the rum that's from Nicaragua.
Florida Cognac?
Florida
There you
Cognac.
go.
Yeah.
There you go. So you'd have to go over to get it. So we contemplated, going over there just so we can get the rum and come back for the most part. But definitely my next trip to Costa Rica will include, I probably just fly into Costa Rica just to get the shuttle to take me to Agua. So how'd you guys get involved with Agua?
Brandon, you want to start that one?
Yeah, sure. I used to live in Costa Rica actually, and I started traveling to Nicaragua, and something about it really just struck me as an amazing place. On some of my travels there, I met up with some folks who were putting together some hotel packages and starting to develop a little bit of the area around there for tourism, and just kind of we built a relationship, and I drank the Kool-Aid, man, and I got involved. And so, that was almost a decade ago, and
Wow.
I've been doing it ever since. It's really a labor of love.
Wow, that's great. And is it family oriented?
Oh yeah,
Very
absolutely.
family oriented.
I have two young girls. We're going down in a couple months with my wife and my daughters, and we play in the water. We hang out. We do little excursions. We just kind of take in a little bit of enjoy the unplugged nature of it, and, reconnect with Zen. There are no television, or there's one television on the property. It's down at the sports bar. We have a sports bar, but in the rooms there aren't TVs. It's very kind of natural. The aesthetic is very chill, one with nature. Wi-Fi is really strong, as you can tell, because we need your Wi-Fi, and Paul's connected down there. So, but yeah, it's a wonderful place to just kind of go and connect with your family and relax and and enjoy.
Wow, very good, very good. And how'd you get involved, Paul? Or did I ask you that already? I didn't ask you that, right?
No, I can answer that. Being in the hospitality and tourism world for over 30 years, having worked with a number of different countries, resorts, destinations, tourism boards, there were some issues down here with the previous management company, and I came down to help clean it up and reposition the resort, and was going to do it in 30 or 60 days. And then COVID happened, and 60 days turned into 90 days, and 90 days turned into 6 months, and 6 months turned into a year. And 15 months later, I was still here. Wow. Now I'm not here full time. We have a management team that runs it, but basically we renovated, we rebuilt the beach bar, we renovated a bunch of villas, rebuilt the spa. But I think also more importantly, we increased the service levels, trained the staff, put in systems. And you've been in the hotel business for a while, systems, process, efficiencies, new property management system, new revenue management system, changed the pricing model, really built up the group business, because Aqua is great for destination weddings and buyouts in the incentive market. So, really spent 15 months putting things back together again, repositioning, rebuilding the resort, and happy to say it's doing very well now.
Very good. Yeah. One thing I can say just from the conversations that I've had with these two gentlemen, Paul and both Brandon both said this, that because I asked what city was this in, okay, or what city is it near, and they said basically Aqua is the destination. That's it. So that's all we focus on is creating this destination. It's called Aqua Resort, Aqua Oceanfront Resort in Nicaragua. Okay, that's it. So it is near a city or near a town, but basically they're creating basically a destination. So the resort is the destination. That's where you're going to. Now I got a question here from Dylan Beaumont. Dylan Beaumont is a GM from the Fairfield Inn in Eugene, Oregon. And his question is, what are the excursions available to your visitors?
So we have a number of different excursions. And again, we have the activity guide, but we also customize them based on who the visitor is. So being on the beach, obviously, we have snorkeling, we have fishing, we have kayaks, we have paddle boards, surf lessons, plenty of ocean activities, maritime activities. And again, we can customize it. If it's a honeymoon couple, we have a catamaran that we have access to. If it's a family, they want to go fishing, they could go deep sea fishing with an early morning excursion, or else it could be, later in the day, just a sunset fish. Horseback riding. We bring the horses right over to our beach, and the guests hop on the horse, go down a trail to a number of different beaches right along the coast.
Wow.
Where we're located, we have day trips to Granada, which is a great colonial city about an hour and a half away. We have Ometepe, which is one of the few islands in the middle of Lake Granada with two volcanoes. Trips down to San Juan del Sur, which is the local fishing village, great surfing town. Plenty to do down there with some shopping, restaurants, some nightlife. Next, we also have the Messiah Volcano. It's an active volcano. A couple of years ago, Nick Wallenda actually crossed the volcano on a tight wire. So we have trips that take you to the volcano. The best time to visit the volcano is in the evening, when you can look down at the cauldron at night and actually see the live lava within the volcano. There's other non-active volcanoes like Mombacho where you can go ziplining. And then we have other trips just that are family oriented, hiking trips. Brandon mentioned earlier that we have the monkeys, the anteaters. We We call it the herp and hike, where you can actually go out and look for the different animals. And then lastly, well, there's two more things. We're also a great beach for the turtles. And the large turtles come up, lay their eggs. 30, 40 days later, the eggs hatch. So it's a great place for families to watch the turtles lay their eggs and then watch the baby turtles go back into the sea. And then lastly, this time of year, it's the whale migration from the north going down south. So we can look out in the bay and you can see the humpback whales swimming around out there. So plenty of activities. We've got a great spa. We've got a great beach bar, live entertainment on Saturday nights. We always have some of the best bands. Places hopping on weekends with the live music, the entertainment, bonfires. We do some themed weekends. We bring in celebrity chefs. We've done culinary weekends with the celebrity chefs. We're looking at doing a marine biology weekend. So we're now really trying to focus on these themed weekends as well.
I'll add one thing. If you want to do a rum tour, Russell, we can accommodate that as well.
Well, then now we're talking. That is great. Now, see, those things I didn't get in the conversation with you guys, and I'm glad I didn't, because now I'm just as excited as other people that are asking questions or thinking about questions to answer. So one thing, this is for the people that are watching or listening. You can ask questions. Like Dylan just asked the question, and I got that directly from LinkedIn. So if you're on LinkedIn listening to this live or watching this live show, please feel free. If you have questions or comments, please make sure we welcome those. We welcome those questions because we have the experts here that can answer those questions. So, okay. Wow, that's great. Now, where does the wellness component come in? Because I did see that, well, I guess all the hiking and all that stuff there would that would be the wellness component, right? Brendan?
Well, there's more than that, actually, Russell. We have an amazing yoga deck, and we have yoga every morning. We have an instructor on staff, and we've got a great venue for yoga retreats. So we bundle together the yoga, the hiking. In a restaurant and beach bar, we put together a great wellness menu, and we'll work with the yoga instructors to customize those.
Wow.
But really, the wellness is really built on the yoga, the menu, and then our new spa.
Okay.
With all the different spa services. And if you go on our website, you'll be able to see the spa menu.
Okay.
And see all the services that we offer.
Very good. All right, I have another question. How is the food and beverage?
The food and beverage is great, but what we really specialize in is more of the beach food. People aren't coming to Aqua expecting a 3-star Michelin chef experience, but fresh seafood. The lobster is live. Often, if somebody is out in our bay diving for lobster, we'll buy the lobster from the lobsterman. And again, it's not the lobster you're going to get in Maine, but again, it's fresh seafood. The meat in this country, although I know you don't eat meat, is tremendous. So we do have some great beef as well. But again, it's more, beach bar food, and it's a great atmosphere, plenty of rum, plenty of coconuts as well.
Okay. Very good, very good. Now,
and I'll chime in real quick about the plant-based. We do have plant-based options, and we do also, of course, source everything locally. And there's a big agricultural community in Nicaragua, so we have good relationships with a lot of the local vendors and farmers, and we source. It's very much farm to table. All the stuff is grown right in the region, and it's sourced, fresh day of, comes from the earth, just a couple days before, and it's very nice cuisine.
Very good. That sounds good. And that was going to be my question. So you read my mind. I was going to say, what about people like me that have this, I need non-meat eat options. So, and you just
we do have a vegan menu.
You do?
And again, that's on the website as well. Okay,
well, see, I need to check that out because I need to know what I'm getting myself into before I get there. No, I'm joking. But let me just correct me if I'm wrong. Is the cuisine similar to what you would get in Costa Rica?
Yes.
It is, but it's much less expensive.
Thanks
He's
for
right.
that, because I know exactly what you mean. I got you. I got you. Thank you so much. What's a popular drink in Nicaragua? Other than the rum, I mean, like, I guess you can mix rum with it, but what would be a popular cocktail that they enjoy there?
Brandon, are you
Well,
taking that, or you want me to?
yeah. I'd say, I mean, it's flor de cañas with, with a little bit of lime and maybe like a twist on a caprajina, like a little bit of lime and a little bit of maybe sugar, because they produce a lot of sugar. Sugar cane grows in Nicaragua, and so with a little bit of fresh sugar. Or I know Tonya is the local beer, and that is very popular. It's a light beer, but they're very crushable, as the kids say. So, when it's hot down there, you just, crack open a couple Tonyas and a 6-pack will go by pretty quick, but they're quite refreshing. That's what I drink when I'm down there.
Actually, Russell, the model down here really catering to the American market. Yes, the rum is great, the Flor de Caña rums, but we also stock up on the tequilas, the tequila and mezcal, because what we're finding now is that the Americans that are coming down here are really asking for tequila drinks. So we also have Patron, Don Julio, mezcal, a bunch of different tequilas and mezcals. And again, that's what I think the Americans are tending to look for. So we look at what their needs are and we stock up based on that. We're actually seeing less interest in the beer and more interest in tequila drinks.
That's good to know. That's good to know. So the majority of the people that come there, are they Americans? Are they Canadians for the most part?
It's a mix of Americans and Canadians. There's also a good number of expats that are actually living within Nicaragua that do come here. And then there's actually a strong local market. Right now, I can look behind me and we have a delegation from the embassy of Brazil, sorry. The ambassador from Brazil is here with his staff this week. So we do have a number of diplomats that are here. There's some weekends where we could have 3 or 4 diplomats, and we're like the UN.
Okay.
But rarely do they talk business.
I mean, I think, when we kind of started naturally, our target customer was more of an international tourist, a lot of Americans, of course, Canadians, Europeans, I mean, really, you name it, Asians or South America. But to use a Russell of Hotels term, we had to do a bit of a swerve when COVID came about, and as flights kind of stopped and international tourism really slowed, we swerved into attracting more of the domestic market, where Nicaraguans who also, of course, like to travel, they were staying grounded in country, not going to, they would go to Costa Rica or Miami or Tulum or something like that, and they were all kind of, staying in country. And so we were able to focus more of our hospitality efforts towards attracting that local market, because, as I'm sure you know, and many of the listeners know, it's been a tough couple of years in hospitality. So we were able to, still stay strong, keep our core staff together, focus marketing more towards the Nicaraguans, and and they've been great guests. And now we're actually just really excited that COVID's kind of winding down and people are traveling again and flights are going again, and we're excited to have more of the international tourism return.
Very good. Sounds good. Now, my Espanol es muy mal. So, do I need it when I come down there?
Not at all. Not at all. Mine was muy mal about 15 months ago. Now it's just mal. So no, most of the staff and definitely the whole management team, they're bilingual.
Okay. Very good. Now, okay, Paul. Now this question is just for you. Now you've been all over the world. You've turned where tourism was not. Made tourism for certain properties and things like that based on the some of the locations or destinations that you've been and kind of turned around. Now, was this property on the list of all the ones you've done? Was this an easy transition for you to to market and to get to market and to turn around to what you're looking for, the let's say the guest experience, to turn around from what it was before you got there to maybe a great guest experience? How did this rank up there with, like, say, I don't know, Botswana or any of these other countries that you went to and had to turn around their tourism?
It's not like one is better or worse than the other.
Mhm.
I like to say they're all equal. They all have their challenges, but I'll start with the positive. The number one thing here is the people and the staff. They work so hard, and you look back and you're like, gee, if they weren't here, where would they be today? So when you look at it and it's payday and they get paid and they're supporting their families and they're learning, they're growing, you're training the staff, you're making a difference. And that was always rewarding in parts of Africa, where when you're helping a tourism board or a lodge or a resort, and you watch the people grow. So I think that's been similar here. So I think from a staffing perspective, that's probably the most rewarding. I think the challenging part was getting people to understand, where we want to be, what a luxury resort really is. When you don't have a lot of the staff that has stayed at a luxury resort or traveled to the US or Mexico and stayed in luxury resorts. So putting in perspective for them, that was a challenge, but we overcame that. But I think it's more rewarding here by far, because that you're changing lives and making a big difference.
Good. I like that. I like that. It's always about the people, right? Regardless of the work we got to put in, it always comes back to the people that you're affecting, and sometimes you don't even realize how in depth you're affecting that family or helping that family out. So that's great. Now, do you guys have now, being in the States, we're having issues with there's a labor shortage or whatever, finding housekeepers or people to work at the front desk or people even work in food and beverage. Is that an issue over there? Has it ever been an issue? Do you foresee
No, that has never been an issue here. There's plenty of labor.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to work, and that's not an issue at all.
Okay. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I hopefully people that don't want to work here are listening to this. So
yeah.
Because as you know, there's a lot of that going on where it's just hard to find of course labor, for people to come back to work. But anyway, that's another story for another time. Now, Brandon, okay, your background is not hotels, okay, or resorts, right? So how did you get into? I mean, I know you probably invest in certain things, or you spend a lot of time there. But was this something that you always wanted to do, or did you? And I always ask this question. I ask this question of people that are in hospitality. Did hospitality choose you, or did you choose hospitality?
No, this was the life that chose me.
Okay.
I've always been somewhat of an entrepreneur. I've never had that much of a traditional job. I don't work well for others. I'm kind of always like a self-starter, self-employed kind of guy. And this was just something that when I was down there and was learning about the project and what was happening, I became compelled to be involved, and I saw places that I could add value, and just decided to kind of do it. And so it's been a passion project. It's not my primary gig, but I've been very fortunate to go through the ups and downs and to have met Paul through this, and I think we're now in a really good place. So it's been tough. I mean, as you mentioned, my background is more in natural food. I do plant-based food, and this has been different but very rewarding. And hey man, it's a great place when I need to go unplug and go drink some of the fruits of my labor, to go take my family down and chill and get treated very kindly by this staff. Like Paul mentioned, there are very grateful, humble, kind, cultural people, Nicaraguans, and as are Costa Ricans. But the people in that part of the world work really hard. They're very grateful for the opportunities that hospitality has brought to them, and where there wouldn't otherwise be, jobs available, perhaps. And so it's really nice to be able to go down and enjoy that at times.
Very good. What is the what would you say your family? What do they like doing the most when they're there?
Really nothing. Chilling on the beach. Not like we like doing nothing really. Like, I mean, we'll go do a little excursion, but I like to just wake up, we'll do a little bit of yoga, hang out, play in the water, maybe do some body surfing or some snorkeling. We make really good smoothies, and there's a lot of fresh fruit I mentioned and fresh vegetables. So, just kind of relax and unplug, and take time to really just reconnect with the earth.
I like that, and that's what I like to do. But it's funny when you go with other people; they have other agendas. Let's do this, let's do that, and I'm good with the horseback riding, and I think I did whatever forerunners or ATV rides or the zip line and all that stuff. But for me to relax, I just want to sit and just be still. You know what I mean? Because especially being in LA where everything is a grind to even get to. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So and then just to chill. I just remember, and I always just draw from my experience in Costa Rica, where the car that we had was a golf cart. So anything was within probably 5-minute ride with a golf cart. You didn't have to go any further than that. And I was good with that, and just going to the beach and just chilling and just a smoothie, and that's all I need, right? I didn't need a TV. I didn't need the phone. I mean, if there was no Wi-Fi there, okay, well then there's no Wi-Fi. Let me just deal with that. But you say you have great Wi-Fi, so I guess that I would have to look at my phone a couple of times.
Yeah, how are you going to post on Instagram without Wi-Fi, man?
You're
Because
right.
it's
You got me on
Instagrammable.
that.
It's Instagrammable, man. I mean, I imagine you followed our Instagram and you look at
Oh
those
yeah.
photos and it's like, wow, this is, I mean, again, to go back to the beginning of the conversation, location, location, location. I mean, you just look at what we're posting on there and it's like, yeah, I want to go chill in that.
Yeah, no, it's definitely amazing. The photos I saw are amazing. The postings, the content. Oh yeah, it's amazing, and I'm glad that you guys offer the Russell of Hotels rate. Because I had one conversation. This is funny. Okay, I was working with a client for they're going to Italy or something this year. I may have told you this story, Brandon. So I'm working on a group going to Italy. They're doing a cruise from Rome to Greece, right? And then they come back. So I did all the pre and post rooms and all that kind of stuff. And she goes, I need a place for 2023 because we're doing the Greece thing for 2022. I said okay, and I said, well, yes. I said, funny you should ask that because I have this property. I'm actually going to meet with these guys. They're going to be on my show, and it's in Nicaragua and stuff like that. And so she started. Her wheels, you can just tell the wheels just started going. And she just said, okay, I'm going to make a couple phone calls right now. And I'm going to look at it because I sent her all the pictures you guys sent me, right? And she goes, this place is amazing. Is it easy to get to? And I mean, just based on the conversation that I had with you guys earlier, that you can fly into to Liberia and it's like a 2-hour thing or whatever. The same thing that Paul just explained earlier. And she said, we're there. We want to do it. And she made, while I was on the phone, I was on the speaker with her and her daughter. And her daughter is making phone calls as I'm still talking to the mother, right? And that just generated this buzz. And then as of today, she told me she had 30 people that are already interested in coming. So I'm like, wow, that's crazy. But it's based on your pictures. I think your photos and just how, I mean, just how picturesque it is. That the beach right there. I mean, the that spa or the jacuzzi that overlooks the ocean looks like kind of like a, what do you call it? Almost like
Punch bowl.
an infinity pool, almost, right? Plunge pool is what you call them, but it could have been an infinity pool as well. But I mean, those are things that got them into a frenzy. And I've been posting stuff like for the last week or whatever, and people are making comments, just unreal comments about your property and the resort. So you guys are
Come
doing a
through.
great job. I appreciate that, and I appreciate the kind of partnership that we're going to do as well. So I definitely do appreciate everything you guys have done, the time that you guys have spent sending me stuff, and just having these conversations. So, but what would you, if there was a takeaway for somebody that was interested in coming, what would you tell those people that are on the fence about coming, you know, and checking out the resort? What would you tell them? How would you convince them to come?
It's simple. We create memorable experiences here. You know, it's memories that last a lifetime. So if you're bringing a family here, that it's the type of thing where, one, they'll go back, they'll talk about this for a long time. The kids will remember it. They're going to want to come back, and they'll be posting photos on social media and sharing it with their friends. So I think if you look at our social media pages, Facebook and Instagram, you'll see some of those experiences there. And also, I think if you look at the TripAdvisor reviews, you'll see that we're creating memories here, just like Walt Disney used to do.
Very good. Brandon?
I mean, you know, what do you need? I mean, like, you know, if you're looking for a great vacation, it's a wonderful place to go. It's certainly not as expensive as some other places that you could go. So it's, you know, it's okay to be balling on a budget a little bit, especially with the Russell Hotels discount that we got going on. You know, it's not hard to get to. It's a quick kind of trip. It's easy, and it's beautiful. Like Paul said, I mean, you'll make memories. I have memories, and they've lasted me my lifetime, and I look forward to making more.
I'm looking at some comments here. Andrew Perry says, "Sounds beautiful. Great Instagram account, Agua Resort." So obviously he's following you guys as well. Sounds beautiful. Okay, and then Dylan says, "What season do we see the turtles hatching? What season is that?"
Right now, we're coming to the end of the turtle season. So by the end of March, turtle season will be done. So it's pretty much December through March.
December through March.
Do you know, Paul, when is the bioluminescence?
You got me on that one, Brandon.
All right. I don't know I don't recall that, but something else that I've observed myself a few times down there, and I don't remember exactly what season it is, but the photoplankton in the waves when it crashes at nighttime, it's like this beautiful turquoise neon blue color. And there's been a few nights where I've just kind of sat there with my bottle of rum and toes in the sand and just watched the waves crash. And it's like this really pretty aqua turquoise color.
Wow, and that's called what again? What did you call it?
Bioluminescence.
Bioluminescence.
Yeah.
Wow, I'd never heard of that. That see, you learn so much here. On air with Russell Hotels is educational. Just in case you guys didn't know that.
Yes, sir. I know, man. Hey, you've given me a great education. I mean, like we kind of joked about a little bit. You know, this was the life that chose me, and as I was kind of just needing to improve my understanding of hospitality and hotels, I came across this, you know, this podcast, and I've been a listener, and you know, so I've learned a lot from you, and I appreciate that.
Oh,
I appreciate putting on this content, and thanks for having us on episode 150.
Wow. No, I appreciate those comments because I mean I believe in this whole social media piece. Some people don't, and I push that because that's all. The relationships that I've formed over the last several years have been because of either this show or just the things that I post on social media. Because how else are we going to find out about certain things? I mean, hidden gems like, you know, Aqua Oceanfront Resort in Nicaragua. How else are we going to find out about that unless we put those for the world to see. And that's basically, you become a player. When you start putting things on social media, then you become a player, meaning anyone can see you, anyone can find you, right? So, and that's how I built my brand on this, right? Because when this whole COVID thing hit, you weren't able to go out and meet people and things like that. So this just kind of, and I always say that social media evens the playing field. So you can advertise or promote or get your brand out just like anybody else could. Small companies, large companies, everyone's on the same playing field. So, Aqua's on the same playing field with some of these mega resorts. But guess what? You don't know those people from those mega resorts. You know Paul and you know Brandon, right? Because they've been on this show, right? So it personalizes it for everybody. Paul's been in and out of there for the last, did you say 18 months, maybe something like that?
It's been over 2 years now.
Over 2 years, and then Brandon has been in. He spent a decade in Costa Rica, and now he's over in Nicaragua. So he knows the area, he knows the region. I'm sorry, did I misspeak on that?
No, yeah, I mean, I wasn't down. I've been involved for a decade.
Okay, for 10 years. Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
So there you go. So you got two people that are that have invested time and obviously invested their some money over there as well. So and that's great. So I mean, my job is to bring stuff to people that maybe didn't know this even existed, right? So, and that's what it's all about. Now, what about, and I know that Paul, you're at the end, and I know you have to get out early, but buyouts, is that something that you guys do for companies?
We do.
Companies want to buy it out?
We do. We've had some great groups here. We had the Young Presidents Organization. We have destination weddings. We have yoga retreats, company incentive trips. We actually partner with the Anchor Collection to represent us at different MICE conferences. But we're ideal for buyouts because we have a private beach, a private cove. Our yoga deck we use for some private dinners, private events on the beach. But for groups anywhere from 40 to 100, we're an ideal resort for buyouts.
Wow, that's great. Good to hear. Good to hear. So how many, and we're coming to the end, how many, I guess, in the hotel terms, say, how many keys do you have?
We've got 40 keys.
Okay.
Now, for those in the hotel world, when you look at an inventory allocation, we have some villas that are 3-bedroom, but they have different entrances. So they could be sold as a 3-bedroom villa with a luxury suite and 2 1-bedroom rooms, or it could be 1 luxury suite and 2 individual rooms. So they could be broken out differently. But we have, at the end of the day, 40 rooms, with about 90 beds. And then we can also bring in mattresses, and we have futons to get it up to over 100.
Okay. Wow. Very good. Very good. That'd be ideal for like a family reunion too, just to come there and.
It's great for family reunions.
Wow. I like it. And Dylan says Brandon seems to collect antique maps.
I do. Good observation. I do. Yeah, I have my oldest map is from a French almanac, and it's of Nicaragua, and it's from 1736.
Wow.
It's when Nicaragua owned a lot of Costa Rica, actually, and we don't need to talk about geopolitical issues, but that was back in the day before some boundaries changed. But yes, I do. Thank you. This is my garoffice, So I'm in LA. It's always nice out here, and yeah, this is my my working space.
That's cool. Thank you, Dylan, for that question. See, Dylan is
good job, Dylan. Very observant.
Yeah, he's very observant. Thank you so much, Dylan, for the question. Well, okay, so we're on with Brandon Gerson and Paul Cohen. They're with the Agua Oceanfront Resort in Nicaragua. We're winding down now. So you guys have any parting comments or anything like that? But first, before you say anything, I mean, I appreciate you guys coming on and then just sharing the story. I mean, and then kind of personalize it a little bit, your experiences and things like that. Because I think that's the thing that gets people, right? It's that personal connection with not just the property, but with the community that's there, which Paul highlighted earlier, and then Brandon, that you actually live there. You know what I mean? So I mean that's the thing that I love, that just that connection. And yeah, okay, yeah, we want, you want to entertain people from around the world to come and take it out, check it out as well. But that, just that whole personal thing, and that you take your family down there, so it is family friendly. And we know that it's definitely, you can do business from there, because Paul is there now, and we have not had one glitch from the internet service there in Nicaragua. So we know that works and that's lit. So there you go. But with that, like I said, I just want to thank you guys for joining me on this show number 150. We always want to make sure, we get to these milestone shows, that we have some people that make an impact, and you guys definitely. And I didn't even know going into this was show number 150. I didn't even know that until today, when I put up, show number 150. I was like, okay, so this is a milestone show. So, but anyway, let me hold on one second. I just have one more question here. There seems to be great end goal for those in hospitality space, having ownership and a stake in something you believe in, that you can also use to escape the stress of our everyday world. That comes from Dylan as well. So thank you so much, Dylan, for that comment. But you guys have any parting words before we get off this show?
No, hopefully you can make it down here someday soon, Russell. We'd love to host you also, and you can do your show live from here.
Is that an invitation, Paul?
That is an invitation.
Okay,
you can come down and see the bioluminescence.
All right, thank you so much, Paul. I appreciate it. Brandon.
No, I'll just echo that. Yeah, we'd love to host you, Russell. That'd be awesome. And thanks, Dylan, for your comments. Love to host you too. And anybody who's listening, come on down and experience it. It's a wonderful place to go spend some time.
All right. Well, thank you guys again. I know you guys got to run, but thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. Once again, we got Paul Cohen and Brandon Gerson. I want to thank them for coming on. Yes, we have an in-studio audience. So thank you guys so much for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels, show number 150. Once again, this will be on a podcast later today, as well as it will be on YouTube as well. So you can, and LinkedIn, you can always rewind it and see what we're talking about. So, but you guys have a great day. Thanks again. See, Paul's already gone. Paul says, I'm out of here. I don't have any more time for this. I've talked enough.
Oh, I'm still here.
Okay. You're not supposed to come back after I say that, Paul. But anyway, but no, thank you guys so much. You guys need anything from me at all, I mean, please feel free to reach out. I'm more than happy to help where I can help. So you guys take care. Have a great day. And once again, Russell of Hotels. You guys take care. Signing out. Peace.
Peace out, Russell. Good connecting with you. Be in touch. Thanks, man.
Thank you for joining On Air with Russell of Hotels. Please tune in every Tuesday at 1 p.m. as we talk to other hospitality professionals. Your feedback is important to Russell. Feel free to email him at russell@russellofhotels.com with any questions or suggestions. Until next time, try not to be a person of success. Rather, become a person of great value.